Well, hi there, everybody. Good Friday morning. It is certainly a Friday out there. Everybody's in a good mood. Today is opening day of the State Fair. We got the Oregon Trail Rodeo going on later on today, and there's just a lot of things going on out there. So people, of course, focusing on what the weather is going to do. Well, we've got some active weather in the forecast. We're going to get right to it here. Let's start first off with your futurecast here. There are some showers this morning in far western Nebraska, around the Colorado-Nebraska border, and also some storms in the far southeast corner of the state, closer to that frontal boundary there. Most of us, though, a very quiet start to our day, and I think most of the day is quiet. We'll watch those showers out towards the west and northwest, but by the later afternoon hours, after about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, as that frontal boundary starts to lift northward, we're going to watch for some strong to severe thunderstorms to fire. Now, first off with temperatures today, with that front, south of it, mid to upper 90s, near 100 degrees. Very hot conditions. Still going to be quite warm, but not quite as hot. Mid to upper 80s, lower 90s north of that frontal boundary, but it is going to be very humid out there for this afternoon. Again, a very favorable environment for thunderstorm activity to fire up later this afternoon, especially north of that frontal boundary here. So we're definitely going to have to watch that after 4 o'clock this afternoon. That continues into the evening hours, becomes a little more widespread as well. So thunderstorm, including severe thunderstorm activity, is going to be a possibility. Right now, the biggest threat may be closer to that area of low pressure out there near the Colorado-Nebraska-Kansas border. But again, along and near that warm front and to the north of it, we'll have to also watch that. That activity starts to lift northward after midnight tonight, so then shifting kind of into South Dakota by tomorrow morning. I think tomorrow we start off quiet, partly cloudy skies. Very similar temperature-wise out there, a breezy wind in the east, but by the late afternoon hours, at least a slight chance of a shower or a thunderstorm out there. I don't think it'll be as widespread as what we'll have out there for tonight, but still going to have to watch that threat, maybe some isolated severe thunderstorms. And one thing the National Weather Service out of Hastings is talking about too is possibly some heat bursts Saturday night, and that just is because of some decaying thunderstorms that can cause heat bursts. So there may be, if you're out and about late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, if you see a thunderstorm in the area that's kind of dying, you may get kind of one of those rushes of warm, dry air that comes out of those thunderstorms. Now let's talk about today's threat again. Everybody, according to the Storm Prediction Center, under a slight risk of severe weather. And again, I put this after 4 o'clock this afternoon, right through the evening and overnight hours, especially before midnight. What kind of risk are we talking about? I think definitely a large hail risk up to golf ball size or larger. Damaging winds are a possibility, but also I think a little bit of a tornado threat, especially as you get towards southwestern Nebraska, but even in south central Nebraska, an isolated tornado is possible. So we're going to have to watch all modes of severe weather later on today, and also have to watch for some possible flash flooding. Here's our future rainfall here over the coming days, most of this falling over the next 24 hours. And again, you see how some locations show up as seeing an inch or two of rain, maybe even more, maybe up to 3 inches of rainfall. There could be some very heavy rain with some of these thunderstorms. Flash flooding will be a possibility. For some of you, it's just going to be a very beneficial rain. But areas that have especially seen a lot of rain recently in the last couple of days, you may be most under the gun for maybe some localized flash flooding. And that's not the end of the rain, as we do have more in your forecast we'll get to in just a bit. Temperatures for today, mid to upper 80s up north. All areas have a chance of thunderstorms late this afternoon into tonight. Upper 80s, lower 90s out west. Upper 80s to around 90 in south central Nebraska, but as you get south of that warm front, mid to upper 90s down in north central Kansas. And to the east, we're looking at upper 80s, low to mid 90s for this afternoon. Okay, as we head through the weekend, tomorrow again that slight chance of showers and storms by late in the day into tomorrow night. Highs once again upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Mid 80s should be a nice day on Sunday. Should be a dry day on Sunday. By Sunday night, a small chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and that will continue into Monday. But by Monday night, a much, much better chance of showers and thunderstorms, widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. That will continue through Tuesday and Tuesday night. So I think some heavy rainfall in the order of 1 to 3 inches or more is possible through that Monday night through Tuesday night time frame. Some of that possibly could linger into the morning hours of Wednesday, as that front finally, that's been kind of stalled out in the area for several days, is going to finally sweep through on Wednesday, and that's going to allow for that cooler, dry, comfortable air to come in on Wednesday afternoon. Highs in the mid-70s, upper 70s on Thursday. Looks like some nice weather by the time we get towards the middle and end of next week, and we'll slowly warm up as we head towards that following weekend, which is, of course, Labor Day weekend, the first weekend or last weekend of August, and the first home game for the Huskers. Maybe a warm one, not terribly hot, but warm as we get towards that following weekend. So again, a lot going on in weather over the next couple of days. Of course, monitor the weather after 4 o'clock this afternoon for some severe weather, some severe thunderstorm threats. Have that way of getting severe warnings to you. NOAA weather radar radios. Of course, there's Weather Call 5. and we have other options as well, many smartphone apps out there. Just have a way of getting those warnings to you, just in case if you do have plans, especially later on this afternoon into this evening. So, until next time, I'm meteorologist Travis Klineski, and I hope you have a great weekend.